Welcome everyone, another Scottish Warrior to do a Mass Effect 3 update video. Now there's a new article on there out in the net. I can't remember where it was, but if you just go to the Mass Effect Facebook page you'll actually get a link to it. Now advanced warning, if you don't want spoilers please click off this video. I didn't really want to read this article because it did say there were going to be a few spoilers, but I promised you guys that I would keep you up to date and I do intend to keep that promise. So if you don't want spoilers, can you click off now? I would strongly recommend if you don't want they're not big spoilers, but they are wee teeny spoilers. So let's get straight to it. Now, from my previous video, I told you about the screenshots and my reaction to both screenshots that were released. Now, the guy Casey Hudson from BioWare, was interviewed and he has confirmed this. He has confirmed everything that I'm going to say here. I brought a list. It took up a page. Sorry, I dropped something. Give me a break. There's a page of stuff that he has stated that is in Mass Effect 3. This is confirmed, not rumoured. So here we go. Firstly, Liara, Ashley, or Kaidan will be returning in Mass Effect 3 as the screenshot suggested, which means that they are going to be part of your party. Not like just for 5 minutes. They are going to be in your party. So you get the old team back together, depending on who you let survive in Mass Effect 1, which adds even more replay value. So, that's the first thing. The next thing that he has stated is that there will not be as big a squad in Mass Effect 3 as there was in Mass Effect 2. He stated that Mass Effect 2 had a fairly big enough squad, sometimes even too big. You had 12 in the last game. I think that's including the DLCs, Zaid and Kasumi. So there won't be as many as your squad members, but each squad member that survived your suicide mission will have an important role in the Mass Effect universe. Now, what do I think that'll mean? I'm thinking diplomatic power, and also greater influence in some aspects of that. Maybe even one or two of them returning, it's hard to say, but I do believe that there will possibly mean that the Asari might be more representative of you, since you've got a Justicar, depending if Samara survived. The Geth might be with you a bit more, if Legion, because if Legion survived. There are a limitless amount of possibilities, and it really adds to the replay value in Mass Effect 2, and also that little add bit on to make everyone survive the final mission. So it means that every character is going to have a major thing, but he has also stated that the main characters some main characters will return. This possibly could mean some older faces returning to your squad, i.e. Rex, or who else? Well, Liara, Kaidan, Ashley, Tali, Garrus. It could possibly mean that the old team may be coming back together, plus some new ones. But he hasn't stated it's going to be like as big a team, so there won't be 12. So it's really hard to say what number, because I'm thinking probably maybe back to Mass Effect 1, as in maybe a team of 8, maybe 6. I'd say about 8ish. They won't have 12, they've stated. But each character from your party in Mass Effect 2 will actually influence how you start Mass Effect 3 and how you will play through Mass Effect 3, because each one will do something different in the universe. So let's just say this for an example. Say Samara, say you're having trouble with the Asari convincing them that the Reapers are a threat. Then Samara could come in and say, he has my blessing, and the Asari could go, well, you have the blessing of one of the best Justicars in the world, we believe you, we're on your side now, or something like that. It could be something as simple as that, or it could be something big, because look at Thane. There are a million possibilities with Thane. You don't know what could be happening. You don't think he could be in your party or could not. They haven't stated who is going to be in your party besides Liara and Ashley or Kaidan, depending on who survived in Mass Effect 1, but that's what it states. That's what he's saying. It's just that each character is going to have a different role, and it's really interesting. It's really going to determine you to finish the game off and try and make sure everyone survives, but also have one where a couple of people might not survive. What else did he say? He did tell us a few homeworlds that we will be going to. You will be returning to some planets from Mass Effect 1 and 2. Well, one's rumored, 2 he just kind of hints at it, but you will be returning to some in Mass Effect 2, so maybe even Ilium, the Shadow Broker's lair, maybe some of the bigger planets. but he has also released 3 new places that you will be going to. Number 1, the Turian homeworld. You will be visiting the homeworld of the Turians, and as I stated in one of my comments in my previous video, the Turians are going to be a bitch to convince because of that fucking ass on the council. He will be a bitch to convince. So that I think is going to be really important. But also, this was a bit of a surprise. For those who might have not known, you went to the flotilla in Mass Effect 2, obviously. But in Mass Effect 3, you get to go to the Quarian homeworld. You are going beyond the Veil. The Perseus Veil, where the Geth space is. Which means if you have Legion, it might make it easier. But you're going to the Quarian homeworld, which I'm thinking might actually have an influence of you helping getting the Quarians on your side. So that is a big, big thing. They're 2 big ones. Turian homeworld and Quarian homeworld. But also the final one, they have stated where you will be going on Earth. They have stated that you will be going to Vancouver. Or not the city of Vancouver, but a more futuristic style of Vancouver, they're saying. Seattle/Vancouver. They're sort of like it might be a new city in play, or it might just be Vancouver in general. Those 3 ones, basically, I'm going to think are mainly a priority to convince people that that the Reapers are real and we need to fight against them or we're going to die. Basically, you're going to be going there to convince these races to convince you. The Quarians, I don't think will be too difficult, depending on what you've done on Tally's mission. They might be a bit challenging, but not incredibly difficult. The Turians are going to be dicks. I'm sorry, they're just arrogant dicks. Not including Garrus. Garrus is awesome. But maybe if Garrus survives, he might help influence that. Also, if you don't know, doing Garrus' loyalty mission, you help a guy. If you've done the Paragon one, the guy who wants to kill survive, so he could have something to do with it. So there are a lot of variables to take into consideration for Mass Effect 3, which adds to it. But that's what I'm thinking. Also, another thing he stated, bigger fighting areas. Because, this is what he stated, because of the Reapers being there, the Reapers are massive, so you need a massive area to fight them. So you are going to be fighting Reapers, that is guaranteed now, you're going to be fighting Reapers. So you're going to be taking on fucking the Harbinger. And it's just going to be epic by the sounds of it. There's not much more than the fact that it's going to be bigger and better sceneries. Also, don't expect this game to be easy, like with the difficulty settings, because here he has stated there's going to be smarter AI. Hence, I'm thinking because the Reapers are intelligent and also advanced in technology. But what does this mean? Basically, in Mass Effect 2, you could actually kind of run and gun on lower difficulties. But what he's stating here is he's trying to make the player think more now, because like in Mass Effect 2, each class had a different ability, but each enemy had a different, like, they were more vulnerable to this, they were more vulnerable to this, but they weren't so much against this. And this one, they've taken a lot more into consideration. Like, if you're up against, like, let's say, a couple of husks, and there are snipers in the background, the snipers will actually try and keep you down in cover to get the husks closer to you, to make it a bit more challenging. That's what they stated. So that's what happened. That's why it's really, so it's going to be a bit more of a challenge, which sounds great. And also, they're adding more RPG into it. Weapon customization. Now, I'm not talking about adding mods onto like upgrades. I'm talking about, by the sounds of it, he means you can put a custom scope on it and make this gun that you have your own, which could be very interesting. So that's all that really has came out now. What do I think of this? It sounds awesome. It sounds like they are really pushing this game, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. I hope I didn't spoil anything for you, because it spoiled a wee bit for me, but nothing major. There is a lot of things you can take from this. From the big news, the biggest news of all, in my opinion, is the return of Liara, Ashley, and the homeworlds. Those, in my opinion, are the biggest news out of all of them. All the other ones are secondary, because I was really wondering if Liara or Ashley or Kaidan, depending on who you survived in Mass Effect 1, because these things are going even way back to Mass Effect 1. So this is interesting. This could make Mass Effect trilogy one of the best trilogies on the marketplace. So that's personally what I think. It looks awesome, it sounds awesome, and it's gonna be epic in 2012. And all I can say is this is all that's came out. My opinion is going to be awesome by the sounds of it. They're hyping this up quite big. Are they setting up for a crash? Me's no think so. They've released a lot, as I stated previously, and it's getting a lot more closer and closer to the date. But let me know what you think. Do you think some of these things here are actually good? Do you like the idea of Ashley and Liara? Do you like the idea of not so big squads, better AI, more customization, the home worlds? What do you think? What do you think of all this news? If you agree with everything and you don't want to leave a comment, just click the like button. If you want to leave a comment, tell me what you think in detail, and I'll tell you my opinion on it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I've kept you up to date. Don't forget to check out my rest of my videos on my channel over there, or click on the Scottish Warrior 92 thing up here. And if you want me to give you my predictions in the future and want to keep up to date on all things Mass Effect, I will keep you up to date. Just click the subscribe button, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much. This has been Scottish Warrior 92 signing off.